What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to be going over some decks that are kind of exciting to me in the JP format. So, as you know, I usually have done in the past Japanese Tuesday, and I explored a little different ways of doing it, but I want to go back a little bit, but I want to do at least a little bit more than just 3 decks to look at. So, without further ado, let's look at a bunch of decks today. So, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe. Let's get into the video, shall we? So first off, let's take a look. We have an offline weekly by Guildhouse, July 15th. I know that this is a little bit further back, but hey, I wanted to take a look at what they're trying to do to revive this deck. You know we just got some more support dropped, and that should be a short that goes up today at some point, but without further ado, let's keep looking. So first off, it's kind of the same Gammamon, it just is focused on the purple stuff. So the starter deck definitely brought in the Gammamon from starter deck 16, being able to draw, trash a card from your hand. You know, when digivolving, draw, then trash one. You know, you kind of use that in conjunction with Nidhogg. Nidhogg's going to gain you that memory. And the new Mat kind of does the same thing when a card is trashed from your hand by suspending its tamer, gain a memory. So as you trash things, more versatile it becomes. And then you can trash even Underworld's Calling to draw you a card to compensate for the loss, but you also have Sunemon, Sunemon, that's going to draw you a card too. So it kind of just levels itself out as you climb up. And you know, you do use the protection skill of the Gammamon X antibody, but you do have a way of, you know, when attacking by trashing one card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lowers, but when attacking by trashing one card in your hand, unsuspend the Digimon, he at least gets 2 attacks on his own accord. And what's nice, if we look at the new support that comes out later, we're going to see that this trashing from hand is actually a vital resource. We're going to gain value out of it, and that's the good part about it, right? So then we do have a vaccine list that happened on the 30th. So we're winners today, Damer official Drakmon tournament. You know, it has the vaccine list. I kind of know vaccine is going to be really strong. Yellow hasn't had this dominable force in a while, but they went from 0 to 60 in 3.5, and there's no stopping here. You know, Patamon here is just really strong. Being able to digivolve for free and then gain a memory off the deal is huge, vital, because of the fact is the Patamon's going to extend your plays and continue your turn further than you were expecting. You know, you have like Greymon, and that is just going to do what he wants. You'll grab that tamer out of there, so most likely you want to grab this TK here, or the other TK, the Mem Setter, because that's a +2 in most instances. By, you know, TK, by adding the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may place 1 card with vaccine traits from your hand at the bottom of the security stack, and then your turn when a card is added to your security by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. Kind of I hate when cards facilitate their own effects. I think that's bad design in its own right. I think cards should never be able to A, trigger their own effects, B, being able to support their own effects. So I think cards like this TK should never have been able to A, be able to put something in, suspend itself, gain the memory. You know, I think that's a little too strong in its own right, because basically it becomes a 2 cost for no reason. And then you have like Patamon, who's just going to gain you a memory for no reason, because again, you just play pure vaccine and then boom, you always have a target. You know, Messenger, I see some lists that play more than this, and of course this card is just ridiculous. Look at your security. One of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 6 or lower Digimon with vaccine traits without paying its cost, then shuffle your security stack. If your Digimon digivolved with the effect, you have a tamer with TK in its name, recovery 1, and then security may play 1 Pata or hand or trash without paying, then add this to the owner's hand. That's crazy to me. I mean, I can see why people play more, but that's just how that goes. And 6 or lower. At least you can't get into like your ruin modes for free, but the deck is self-explanatory. It wants to recover. It has ways of dealing with threats that are, you know, virus types, basically through Angemon, instantly just putting it into security and just going like, well, you lost that stack. GG's, good luck. You know, there's just so much potential with yellow this format. It's not even funny, but I like it a lot. I mean, to be honest with you, it scares me when cards are this powerful. but yellow needed this boost for a while now. Will this be longevity? I don't know. If they ever had to do anything to this deck, the only card that you really have the problem with is the Pata. Pata does way too much for its own self, but Messenger of Hope as well is really solid. I think just we'll see what happens to this deck if they do anything. I'm not screaming shout for hits or anything like this, but this deck has crazy potential. Then we have a good one here. I think being able to talk about plant vegetation, it's kind of funny, isn't it? The first list had a Garuru, plant vegetation, and yellow hybrid, or yellow vaccine. Maybe I kind of stuck with something. Nah, just kidding. It was just things I wanted to talk about. So I played this on a similar design list on the Ult Tri-Cup Season 2. First episode, actually. Just went crazy nuts. This deck has so much potential. It's ridiculous. The new Palmon is ridiculous. Being able to, when one of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns, when this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of opponent's turn. And then when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the cost by 1. It's stacked. So if you have like Toga, the new Mimi's ridiculously cracked. She's a searcher, but like again, like I said, I like cards that don't self-fulfill their effects, but you know, when a Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. So being able to suspend stuff is really solid. I mean, the deck's gonna do what it wants to do. You know, top end's Bloom Lord to go in for the piercing and multi-checks. You know, Lilimon Ace, especially since you spit out so many stuff, you can easily get 2 champions on board, and then your opponent doesn't know which champion you're gonna, you know, ace into. They can swing into one, and the other one won't go into the, you know, that one won't go into the ace, so you'll go into the ace with the other. It's just, there's a lot of potential here. Lilimon Ace is really scary in my opinion. There's so much potential. Being able to evolve on your opponent's turn with green is scary as can be, because then you just set up your Bloom and Hydra very easily and set up for the next turn. And all it takes is your opponent just swinging once, and you can just deal with threats. And you have like agility trainers, because trainings, or you know, agility training is just ridiculously, the trainings are ridiculous strong anyway. This deck got sped up to from its 8 to at least a 10 now, and its speed's not going anywhere. I think this has a lot of threat potential, and we'll see what goes on. But hey, green's gonna do what green wants to do. Then let's talk about Gammamon. Gammamon hasn't really been talked about in a little bit. August 5th we had one. So yes, they got a lot of new support actually. So, you know, got a new Gammamon in the LM set. So when one of your other Digimon is deleted by effect, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with Gammamon in its text from your trash without paying its cost. So really solid. And then you may play one hero from your hand without paying its cost. Being able to set up your hero and keep it cycling is really good. You know what Paroxymon does. When another Digimon is deleted, you may play a level 4 or lower card with Gammamon's name from your hand, from your trash without paying its cost. And then end a turn by placing one Digimon with Gammamon in its text from your hand or trash under this Digimon as a bottom Digievolution. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the DP less than or equal to this Digimon. It's a big beefy boy. It's got removal, it's got power, and you know, you play the new Regulus Ace here because it's actually really ridiculous. On play, when Digivolving, trash one card in your hand, then you may place one Gammamon in its text under as a bottom Digievolution, but all turns when effect places a Digimon under this Digievolution by deleting one level 4 or lower Digimon. You may play a level 4 or lower from your trash without paying its cost. So it sets you up for feeding your effects, especially for the purple end of this deck. It just feeds the effects, and that's really good. And then you have like Bokumon basically doing what Bokumon did for hybrids, but for Gammamon. So reveal the top 4 cards of the deck, add one card with Gammamon in its text among them to your hand, place the rest of the bottom deck, and then when one of your Digimon with Gammamon in its text other than Bokumon would leave the battle area, other than by one of your effects, you may delete this Digimon to prevent it from leaving play. So Bokumon supporting the deck in a way that this deck needs. A protection skill, a very solid protection skill in my opinion, but there's just so much good stuff. You get like Blocker from Waltz, you got Kaus giving the unblockable, Gauss giving retaliation, you have Beetle with Blitz, then you have this one with Raid. You know, all the potentials gets ridiculous pretty quickly, and then you have this one on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with this the lowest level till the end of opponent's turn. So with no battle protections in certain decks, you can just really go off pretty easily. And, you know, it just wants to end a turn, do its shenanigans. Then we got D-Brigade. D-Brigade I would not miss on my first back at Japanese Tuesday. So D-Brigade is all funs and games until your opponent is staring down little dinosaurs that are just going to wreck your day. So Gammamon, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with D-Brigade or Digi-Police, trade among them to your hand, place the rest at the top of the or bottom of your deck. Being able to cycle and decide where you want to put the cards, really solid. I mean, it's either all top or all bottom, but hey, just taking a look is solid enough. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by effect by deleting one of your other Digimon with D-Brigade, preventing leaving from play. Really, really nasty. You have like high Commandramon that can basically come in for free. That's not bad because the Commandramon here will play it for free because it just needs to have Commandramon. And because it says it treats itself as Commandramon, it's just really solid. When, you know, has the same protection skill as the new super rare, but, you know, when attacking reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, you may play 1 Digimon with D-Brigade or Police with a play cost 3 or less among them without paying its cost. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. We're hoping to hit these. You know, Nummamon's just blocker, and then, you know, if by placing the Tamer underneath from your hand as this Digimon bottom of evolution, when your Digimon gains rush for the turn for its on play. It's not bad. Like, everything about this deck got a boost. You know, you have the War Greymon lookalike, you know, Brigade Dramon. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that their play cost totals up to 7 and delete them. All turns, your Digimon with D-Brigade gain blocker, opponent's turns. End of your turn, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play any number of cards with D-Brigade or D-Police in its trace up to the total 7 among them without paying its cost. Trash the rest. I mean, hey, free bodies, getting your stuff set up. And I mean, what's scarier than just having like a Kargadramon or Tankerdramon, and then you just have Diaboromon ready to come in and just help ace it up. You know, I noticed a lot of black decks went to Diaboromon Ace just because of how solid it is. And then you have DC D-Bomb, you know, D-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then by returning 3 D-Brigade traits from your trash to the top of the deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon up to the maximum level of play cost 6. So being able to D-Digivolve them from their ultimate down is really solid. You know, defensive trainings, Trident Arm, you know, really nasty here, forcing your opponent to attack, and you can set up lockers and stuff like that. And then you have, like, her, Mind Link, one of your Digimon with Nummaman or Mumsy in its name, or Digi-Police traits. So, place this Tamer under one of your Digimon without a Tamer in his Digi-Evolution. Start a main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Play this without playing its costs all turns. While this Digimon has Nummaman in its name or Digi-Police in its traits, gains jamming and reboot. You may play one from her. Play her basically from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution without paying its costs. To reset up, if you know the Digimon's going to die, you can just take it out, boom, get it set up for another turn. So, all in all, great stuff, I think. We have a lot of potentials. This set, BT-14 Blast Ace, it looks a lot of fun. And then we got EX, guess what? 5 coming. So, and with the limited set that came through with the Ghost games, definitely changed things up. So guys, what did you think of this video? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!